See, that is potentially good news, and the world is scrambling for some type of treatment, cure, or vaccine. So we're asking you this morning, what will it take for you to get back to life as normal? Text us at 602-444-1212. And I'm not talking about this whole new normal that we're talking about. We're talking about pre-pandemic normal, a point where we go back to doing things without thinking about coronavirus. And we're asking because of what Tracy just mentioned there at the end. There's positive news on the vaccine front. Pharmaceutical company Moderna says that one of its vaccines is showing promising results. Now, the first round of trials did prove in all 45 patients given the vaccine that it was safe for all of the humans involved. And then it also helped 8 of them develop antibodies. So Moderna's stock went through the roof, as you can imagine, after Monday's announcement of this whole thing. But keep in mind here, we're talking about 8 of the 45 people who took it testing for the antibodies, which is great for those 8, but all the results aren't in yet, and it potentially shows an issue that many people have been talking about in terms of a vaccine, which is that they're not always 100% effective, especially if the virus has multiple strains, which we do not yet know about COVID-19, according to experts. So, again, it's excellent news, but freedom to put coronavirus in the rearview mirror, experts don't think so, at least not yet. So, again, let's talk about this. What will it take for you to go back to life as normal? And here's what some of you were saying so far this morning. This comment's coming in from Facebook, and it says that no one is going back to a previous normal after all of this. There will be changes, and we're going to have a new kind of normal. So, doesn't think anything's ever going to happen. For people to commit to wearing a mask and staying 6 feet away from each other in stores, and my local grocery store, some don't even take the slightest bit of precautions. People need to understand that it's a temporary behavior change. So I would argue, I mean, I think a lot of them are right that there's probably, at least for a long time, going to be a new normal, Rachel. I don't necessarily think that things are just going to go back to the way they were at first. But I personally don't even know how to answer this question. I don't know what it would take for me personally.
I know. I'm kind of with you. Is it greatly reducing the risk of death? Greatly reducing the risk for people who have to go and be hospitalized and put on a ventilator, waiting for a vaccine that's been tried and proven and has good data on that? I don't know. I mean, it's a big question, but I think I agree with a lot of our viewers that it's going to be a long time before we get back to pre-coronavirus conditions. It's a new normal we're entering into.
Maybe it's the same thing I always say about bad breakups. Time.